What's going on, everyone? Today's March 12th, 2023. We're going to talk about 10 banks that MarketWise is trying to tell us that may face more trouble or could be in trouble in the wake of the SVB financial group collapse. Take a look. This article was produced and updated on March the 11th, 2023. We appreciate MarketWise giving us a heads up, because while everyone is trying to harp down on, okay, what caused SVB to collapse? What were the signs? What happened that we did not catch as to why this particular bank is collapsing and went under? MarketWise is actually giving us a heads up and say, hey, if SVB went under, there are some other banks that could be in trouble as well. So I wanted to be one of the ones to show you that this is not just a one in and one off type situation. There are other banks that could possibly be in the same situation as SVB. Let's talk about it. Okay, so other banks, you guys can see I highlighted right here, show similar red flags. Okay, take a look. Another bank whose stock dropped amid concerns over liquidity was Signature Bank, which issued a statement meant to calm depositors and shareholders. They fell 12% on March 9th and were down another 24% in pre-market late trading on March 10th. So that's another bank that's having problems like SVB. So this is not just one problem. This is a contagion, what so many people are trying to contain. It's like a virus. It's spreading. So MarketWise is trying to help out its readers. So I said, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and do a video for my subscribers to show you a couple of other banks that is having problems. Now, here are the red flags, red margin flags. Okay. Before SVB Financial decided to take such a dramatic step, the movement, of its net interest margin was signaling that the bank wasn't well positioned for the combination of rising interest rates and slowing loan growth in the venture capital space. Problem. A bank's net interest margin is the spread or the difference between its average yield on the loans that it makes and investments and its average cost for deposits and borrowing. So pretty much like how much income they bring in versus the expenses that they pay. Okay, so net interest margin is a ratio, that measures how well a financial institution is making investment decisions by comparing the interest income, the money that they bring in, and the expenses of those investments that they pay out. It shows how much profit a bank or other financial firm can make from its lending and investing activities. Okay, so take a look. These are the 10 banks that is showing contracting margins. So the lower the ratio, the less money that they're making off of the difference between the income that they get from the loans or investment that they make versus the expenses that they do. So take a look. Here they are. These are the 10 banks that are showing red flags. They're showing contractions in their margins. So back in Q4, for instance, look at Customers Bancorp, right? This first business right here. Their net interest income in the fourth quarter of 2021 was around 4%. In Q3 of 2022, it contracted down to 3.1%. And then the last quarter of last year, Q4 2022, 2.61. So they're not making as much income off of their investments as they are with their expenses. Why? Because the article already told us, off of rising interest rates, as well as, let me see, rising interest rates and slowing loan growth. They're not producing more loans because higher interest rates, you're paying more money rather than having 0% interest. So these are the 10 businesses right here. These are the 10 banks that you want to look at. So let's talk about this though. We're going to look at these 10 banks real quick on the price charts to see, have these values gone down way before these contractions, right? So a lot of this started back in 2021. So what my premise is, I'm presuming that prior to 2021, these stock prices were going up. In 2021 and beyond, I'm suspecting that price began to go down. So let's look at them real quick. So the first one up is that Customers Bank. Okay, so CUBI. Okay, Customers Bank Corp. Let's take a look. Here it is. Stock price was going higher in 2021. 2022 comes in right here. January 2022 was the high in the market in Customers Bank, and ever since then, look at this. Price is going down. And you guys can tell that this market, this business, this bank is in trouble, because just on Friday or Thursday, March the 9th, 2023, let me go ahead and show you this on the daily. You guys can tell that this bank is in trouble because look, it was down 13% on Friday, even Thursday. So this is a bank that is in contagion with SVB. Now, initially, look at earnings. The market fell 16% on the 26th of January. Someone knew something then. Let's look at another bank. Let's look at First Republic Bank. Another bank that's showing contagion off the charts. Like, the market doesn't lie. As you can see, their contractions began in 2021. You're seeing it now. San Francisco. Here, the high in the market in First Republic Bank occurred in November 2021. The beginning of 2022, I would say either in the latter half of 2021, November, December time, the price in First Republic completely fell off a cliff. This bank is in trouble as well. And another reason how you can tell it's in trouble is because of this increased volatility on Friday, March the 10th. Market closed down almost 15%. This high volume is a dead giveaway that big institutions, businesses who have a lot of money locked up, is trying to get out before the contagion spreads to this bank. Let's look at another one. Sandy Spring Bank Corp. Okay, SASR. I think you guys can see what's going on. December 2021, beginning of the year, January, here's another stock that began its downtrend. So the market knew. It just took SVB to actually collapse to bring all of this to fruition, to bring it to our doorstep. But if you pay attention to the price chart, the market has always given us a heads up as to how weak changes occurring in a business. The market was glaringly telling people that Sandy Spring Bank is in trouble in January of 2022. Let's look at the next one. New York Community, NYCB. Look at this. This particular stock hasn't pretty much done anything. It hasn't even seen a trend in 2021, a monumental one. But again, beginning of 2022, price has gone down. Let's look at the next one. First Foundation, FFWM. You guys can see this one here. This one definitely is glaringly obvious. Beginning of 2022, banking stocks were going down. Well, these are. Let's look at the next one. Ally Financial. Okay, these are all the banks that are showing contractions in their net interest margin. They're not making as much money as they once were. Here it is, beginning of 2022. Look at Ally Financial. It's going down. So I think you guys got the gist. Let's look at one more. Dime Community. Okay, look at it. The market here in Dime, beginning of 2022, began to go down. Now this one is not as bad. Look at this. The market here in Dime is holding its weight. A lot better than the ones that I've shown you previously. Okay, so let's look at PBBI. Again, 2022 is when the downtrend began for a lot of these banks. Now, these are just 10 of the ones that are showing contractions in their net interest margin. It doesn't mean that all banks are doing that. No. MarketWatch gives us the ones with most margin improvement. So let's look at Comerica. Do you think Comerica is going down, or are they going up in price? What do you think? Is it weak or is it strong? Do you think Comerica is going to fare out pretty well in the midst of this contagion with SVB Bank? What about First Horizon? You see that? 2022 was a fantastic year in First Horizon, while those other banks, the ones that were showing contractions in their net interest margin, was going down. You guys can see that 2022 was a fantastic year for First Horizon. Let's look at M&T Bank. What I want you guys to understand and see is that charts always give you an answer as to what the question is, as to how the market is trending. So here it is. 2022 was a phenomenal year in M&T Bank, but it held its weight. But now you guys can tell that in 2023, the price, albeit it's not strong, is holding its weight. Not as strong as DCOM, but it's holding its weight. Let's look at Stellar, STEL. Take a look. It's not as drastic. It's not in a downtrend. This particular bank is consolidating. So are there fears here in these banks? Let's look at Enterprise Financial Services, EFSC. Take a look. This particular institution is not faring bad. It's actually trending higher. It is in a uptrend. So while we're seeing contagion in some banks, others aren't so much. All you got to do is pay attention to the chart. Let's look at Berkshire Hills, okay, BHLB. Not as bad, right? Look at this, 2022, the market in Berkshire Hills literally consolidated the whole year, right? Right there. So while other banks are down 15%, 60%, these banks are still holding their weight. EWBC, real quick. So I think you guys got the gist, okay? I think you guys got the gist. So I'm done. I just wanted to provide you another avenue of seeing the situation with SVB Bank and other ones that could possibly go through the same situation. So these are the banks right here that MarketWatch is putting in front of us that is showing contractions in their net interest margin. And then you have those who are showing improved net interest margins. We appreciate these articles because it gives us a heads up as to where we should be focusing our attention on possible price moves. Okay, so I'm done. Give me your thoughts. How do you think this is going to end? Will the Fed step in again? Will the government step in again and be the backstop to stop this contagion? Because inevitably, looking at the markets, looking at some of these bank stocks that I've shown you on the stock charts, it's not over. Monday, it's going to be real important that they make a sure stance that they're going to save and keep the faith of the financial institution intact. If they don't, this contagion will get worse. Don't forget that the debt ceiling is still a bump ahead in the road. Make sure you maintain the profitability, and as always, trade different.